Imagine yourself seated by a modest campfire in the quiet hours of the night, as a gentle breeze whispers past, evoking a fleeting moment of introspection. The tale I am about to share, delivered in a soft murmur, might just reshape the lens through which you view your world entirely. This is no arid lecture hall discourse, but a narrative designed to quicken the pulse ever so slightly and prompt you to pose profound questions to your own reflection. In this very reality we inhabit today, is everything truly as solid and unyielding as it appears, or could it be a prolonged, exquisite, and eerily intricate dream woven from the fabric of illusion? In the year 1991, a writer named Michael Talbot released a volume that sent ripples through the collective consciousness of countless readers, challenging long-held assumptions about existence itself. Titled The Holographic Universe, the work swiftly became known in translations as the Holographic Cosmos or, in a more encompassing rendering, the holographic totality of the cosmos. Talbot was far from the archetype of a scientist clad in a pristine white laboratory coat, meticulously conducting experiments under fluorescent lights. Instead, he was a storyteller at heart, a seeker who bridged the rigid frontiers of empirical science with the enigmatic realms often dismissed as spiritual mysticism. In his provocative assertions, he declared something that stunned many: science and spirituality are not opposing forces but facets of the same profound truth. The divide exists only because humanity has yet to delve deeply enough to articulate mystical experiences in the precise lexicon of scientific inquiry. According to Talbot's compelling framework, the world we navigate daily lacks the absolute tangibility we so readily ascribe to it. Pause for a moment and absorb that notion. As you peruse these words, you might simultaneously attune to the rustle of wind through leaves, observe the playful flicker of flames, and inhale the earthy aroma of smoldering wood. All of it feels inescapably vivid and immediate, does it not? Yet, what if I were to reveal that every sensation coursing through you is merely the brain's interpretation of electrical impulses, a neural symphony devoid of inherent substance? Would that not send a shiver racing down your spine, a chill that questions the very ground beneath your feet? Consider the exquisite machinery of your eyes, those windows to the soul that capture the azure expanse of the sky, the crimson blaze of fire, or the warm amber glow of a lantern. To you, these hues paint a vibrant tapestry. But a loyal canine companion perceives the world in muted shades of grey, brown, and faint yellow, blind to the spectrum's splendor. A feline prowls the shadows with crystalline clarity, discerning outlines where you see only inky voids. Serpents detect your body heat from a distance of 1 meter, sensing life through infrared whispers invisible to human sight. Bats navigate by echoes of ultrasonic waves, frequencies far beyond the grasp of our ears. Even a common housefly exists in a temporal realm apart, where your single second stretches into what feels like a full minute to it, rendering your swatting hand a ponderous crawl akin to a tortoise's leisurely pace, allowing the insect ample time to evade with smug disdain at humanity's sluggishness. In light of such diversity, who among us truly beholds the world in its unadulterated form? The answer, quite simply, is no one. Each species dwells within a bespoke version of reality, sculpted exclusively by the contours of its sensory apparatus. This multiplicity underscores a fundamental truth: perception is not a mirror of objective fact but a personalized projection. Do you recall the viral frenzy of 2015, when a single photograph of a dress ignited global pandemonium? The very same image prompted vehement debates, with some swearing it was black and blue under any light, while others insisted upon white and gold with equal fervor. Social media platforms buzzed with arguments, memes proliferated, and even late-night talk shows dissected the phenomenon. What began as a innocuous snapshot exposed the fragility of human perception, how easily our senses can be deceived by optical illusions rooted in lighting, context, and preconception. In the grand theater of the cosmos, vast and unfathomable, can you then proclaim with certainty that your vantage point captures the unerring truth? When immersed in a dream, its authenticity never crosses your mind as suspect. You flee from pursuing monsters, soar through cloudless skies, or embrace long-departed loved ones, all with a clarity and emotional intensity that rivals waking life. Only upon awakening does the veil lift, revealing the nocturnal fabrication. Might this current moment, which you trust as wakefulness due to its duration, stability, and persuasive detail, merely represent an extended dream of superior craftsmanship. The Buddha himself taught that the self to which we cling so fiercely is but an illusion, a flickering montage of ever-shifting images devoid of permanence. Contemporary science echoes this wisdom with striking precision. The material realm we observe is not composed of immutable bricks but rather vibrations of energy, undulating waves, and probabilistic clouds. Every element pulses at the velocity of light, a ceaseless cascade of frames projected in seamless succession to conjure the illusion of continuity. Have you ever marveled at a large-screen television, where a high-definition cinematic sequence flows so fluidly that you forget it comprises millions of pixels flashing 60 times per second? Should that refresh rate accelerate by billions of folds, the artifice would evade detection entirely, indistinguishable from unmediated reality. The universe, in this metaphor, functions as an immense projector, screening a cosmic film for our unwitting audience. Radio signals, wireless internet transmissions, and beams of light all manifest as forms of electromagnetic radiation, invisible currents permeating the very air around you at this instant. Your smartphone deciphers these unseen Wi-Fi pulses, transforming them into streams of data and images. If our rudimentary senses overlook such layers, might subtler strata of information or energy fields elude us still? The film The Matrix, released in 1999, once consigned to the domain of speculative fiction, now borders on prescience, inviting us to question the simulation encasing our lives. Let us venture deeper into the core of Talbot's vision, illuminated by the mesmerizing technology of the hologram itself, a term he enshrined in his book's title for its revolutionary implications. Envision photographing a graceful woman named Scarlett with an ordinary camera. Upon developing the film and slicing it in half with scissors, the resulting print reveals only the upper portion of her visage, the lower body vanished into oblivion. A conventional photograph fragments with surgical precision, each piece holding but a sliver of the whole. The holographic camera, however, defies such linearity. Record Scarlett through its lens, then bisect the plate, quarter it, or pulverize it into dust. Illuminate even the tiniest shard with a laser beam, and behold, her complete countenance materializes anew, albeit slightly blurred and speckled with interference patterns. This phenomenon reveals the hologram's essence. The entirety of information resides encoded within every infinitesimal fragment, a distributed wholeness that transcends division. Talbot unearthed a revelation that borders on the uncanny. The human brain operates in precisely this manner. Medical records document patients compelled to excise half their brain due to tumors or severe epileptic seizures. Conventional neuroscience predicted catastrophic deficits, paralysis on the contralateral side, amnesia for faces, linguistic dissolution. Yet, outcomes confounded expectations. These individuals retained memories of their mothers, childhood escapades, and routes homeward, though recollections dimmed in sharpness and detail. The more cerebral tissue removed, the hazier the recall became, but erasure proved elusive. It mirrored a holographic plate trimmed progressively smaller, resolution wanes, yet the integral image endures. What profound insight does this impart? Memories do not localize in discrete cerebral vaults but disperse across the neural lattice, encoded in every solitary neuron. Your brain, in essence, constitutes a living hologram, a dynamic projector of experience. If the brain embodies holographic principles, then the cosmos cradling it may well be a colossal hologram in its own right. Modern quantum physics advances this proposition daily, with empirical validations mounting. David Bohm, the physicist who collaborated with Albert Einstein, pioneered the notion of an implicate order, a deeper substrate from which our explicate reality unfolds as a holographic projection. In this paradigm, all phenomena interconnect instantaneously across higher dimensional manifolds, unbound by spatial separation or linear chronology. In the year 2022, researchers issued a bombshell proclamation. The holographic principle could serve as the linchpin unifying general relativity with quantum mechanics, two pillars long at odds. This suggests our three-dimensional expanse emerges as a projection from a two-dimensional boundary brimming with encoded data, akin to shadows cast on a cavern wall from a luminous source beyond. Advancements accelerated dramatically into 2025, with experimental validations gaining unprecedented momentum. A collaborative effort at institutions including those affiliated with the American Physical Society unveiled a novel mathematical assay in April of that year, published in the esteemed journal Physical Review Letters. This breakthrough integrated supersymmetric quantum field theories with maximal gravity models, demonstrating the holographic principle as an indispensable attribute of quantum gravity frameworks. As detailed in a May 2025 report from purpose.org, physicists devised a pioneering test to probe these boundaries, bridging disparate realms of theoretical physics and edging closer to a grand unified theory. Complementing this, a July 2025 feature in Popular Mechanics explored how space, time, and gravity might manifest as illusions from a flattened cosmic canvas, drawing on Schrödinger's century-old wave equation repurposed for holographic scrutiny. Meanwhile, SCI Tech Daily highlighted in May how these inquiries challenge the fabric of reality itself, potentially resolving black hole paradoxes and illuminating the universe's inaugural instance. Such strides affirm Talbot's once speculative thesis as a cornerstone of contemporary physics, transitioning from philosophical conjecture to testable hypothesis. Furthermore, innovations in metasurface technologies have propelled dynamic holographic displays toward real-time viability, hinting at practical applications from immersive virtual realities to advanced medical imaging, as noted in emerging 2025 prototypes from optics laboratories worldwide. Now, permit me to weave another thread into this tapestry, one that extends the holographic motif beyond sterile laboratories into the whispers of ancient lore and uncharted expanses. The idea that the whole resides within the part manifests not only in quantum equations but in humanity's enduring fascination with hidden worlds, where the minuscule conceals the infinite. From the 17th century onward, luminaries pondered the possibility of a hollow Earth, a notion that captivated minds across epochs. In 1692, Edmund Halley, the astronomer famed for identifying Halley's Comet, proposed a radical hypothesis in a discourse before the Royal Society. Far from a solid orb, he envisioned Earth as a nested ensemble of concentric shells, akin to ornate Russian matryoshka dolls, each enclosing its own luminous core, atmosphere, and perhaps teeming ecosystems. Halley invoked this model to rationalize anomalies in terrestrial magnetism, suggesting internal dynamos independent of surface phenomena. Though eclipsed by Newtonian orthodoxy, his conjecture ignited a lineage of inquiry blending astronomy, geology, and speculative geography. By the 19th century, the theory found a fervent champion in John Cleves Sims Jr., a retired United States Army officer who dedicated his twilight years to evangelizing polar apertures granting ingress to an inner realm. Dubbed Sims holes, these vast portals estimated at 1,400 miles in diameter allegedly pierced the Arctic and Antarctic caps, revealing a verdant interior illuminated by a diminutive central sun, lush equatorial rainforests, colossal fauna reminiscent of prehistoric epochs, and civilizations surpassing surface ingenuity. In 1820, Sims nearly swayed the United States Congress to fund an expedition, circulating petitions and delivering impassioned lectures that blended empirical observation with visionary zeal. Though funding eluded him, his fervor permeated popular culture, inspiring generations of explorers and fabulists. Undeterred by skepticism, the hollow Earth motif endured, permeating literature and pseudoscience alike. In 1864, the prolific French author Jules Verne immortalized Sims's influence in his subterranean Odyssey journey to the center of the Earth, a tale of intrepid descent through Icelandic volcanoes into bioluminescent caverns harboring ichthyosaurs and subterranean oceans. Verne's narrative, blending rigorous pseudogeology with exhilarating adventure, sold millions and embedded the concept in the collective imagination. The 20th century witnessed even more audacious pursuits. During the 1930s and 1940s, Nazi Germany's Ahnenerbe expeditionary units ventured into Tibet and the polar fringes, seeking vestiges of Aryan origins in purported inner sanctuaries, guided by occultist Helena Blavatsky's theosophical tomes that fused hollow Earth lore with esoteric cosmogony. Amid these historical echoes resonates a particularly evocative legend, Agartha, the subterranean kingdom, occasionally synonymous with Shambhala or Shambhala in varied traditions. Rooted in the Kalachakra Tantra scriptures of Tibetan Buddhism, this concealed realm nestles deep within the Himalayan fastnesses or beneath the planet's crust, inhabited by enlightened beings who endure for millennia, wielding technologies and wisdom eclipsing our own fractious age. Access, the text's decree, demands purity of heart and mind, a vibrational attunement that unveils hidden passages to the uninitiated eye. Innumerable adventurers have vanished in pursuit, their quests dissolving into enigma. The Russian polymath Nikolai Roerich, painter and philosopher, claimed a sighting in 1926 above Mongolian skies, a colossal golden orb streaking southward at supersonic velocities, which he interpreted as a missive from Shambhala's guardians, heralding cosmic alignment. In modern reinterpretations, as explored in an October 2025 Medium essay, Agartha transcends literal cartography to symbolize a higher dimensional sanctuary, reachable not by spelunking but through meditative ascension and consciousness expansion within New Age paradigms. Similarly, a May 2025 Ethereal Law publication frames it as a psychic refuge from surface turmoil, where ancient wisdom communes with quantum entanglement, bridging myth and metaphysics. These contemporary lenses portray Agartha less as geographic fact and more as archetypal invitation, urging inner exploration amid accelerating global dissonances. China's Kunlun Mountains emerge as a prime contender for Shambhala's terrestrial anchor, shrouded in anomalies that defy rational dismissal. Local shepherds dub a certain ravine the Gate of Hell, a chasm where intrepid souls meet untimely ends. Cadavers retrieved exhibit eyes rolled back in terror, mouths agape in silent screams, garments shredded yet skins unmarred, fingers clenched around absent firearms. Geological surveys in the region recount harrowing tales, a summer team engulfed by inexplicable blizzards, collapsing amid garments scorched as if by infernal forge, their instruments registering geomagnetic surges potent enough to summon lightning upon the unwary, channeling atmospheric fury through human conduits. Parallel enigmas abound globally. Beneath South American pyramids sprawl labyrinthine tunnel networks, etched with glyphs hinting at pre-Columbian migrations from inner domains. In Turkey, the subterranean metropolis of Derinkuy stands as an engineering prodigy, unearthed serendipitously in 1963 when a resident pursued errant poultry into a basement crevice, revealing an 18-level colossus plunging 85 meters into volcanic tuff. Provisioned for 20,000 souls across centuries, it boasts ventilation shafts rivaling modern HVAC systems, wells of potable depth, communal halls evocative of schools, stables for livestock, cellars brimming with amphorae of fermented vintages, and chapels adorned in frescoes of forgotten rites. Recent excavations, as chronicled in a May 2025 ArchaeoNews feature, affirm linkages via 8-kilometer conduits to proximate Kaymakli, intimating a Cappadocian consortium exceeding 200 interconnected bastions, a subterranean syndicate predating recorded annals, perhaps a bulwark against invasions or climatic cataclysms. A April 2025 YouTube documentary further posits Derinkuy's antiquity eclipses pharaonic Egypt, with carbon dating suggesting Hittite-era inception around 1500 before the Common Era, challenging timelines of human ingenuity. All these vestiges murmur a unified refrain: the world transcends its visible epidermis, harboring strata unseen and unsuspected. Perhaps Earth harbors no literal void at its core, as seismic cartography and gravitational assays affirm a dense mantle and molten nucleus. Yet, intertwined dimensional folds or perceptual veils may cloak parallel habitations, awaiting instruments of finer calibration. Shambhala, Agartha, the inner sanctum, they may not lurk afar but resonate imminently, attuned to a mere recalibration of your perceptual frequency. In the innocent mirth of a child's laughter, the subtle caress of foliage in breeze, or the swelling tide of love within your chest, you brush against this deeper verity. Scientists christen it the quantum field, a seething plenum of potentialities. Mystics invoke the divine. The Buddha denominated it emptiness, the interdependent void whence form arises. Michael Talbot proclaimed it the holographic universe. We, each of us, embody minuscule holographic facets, yet in every inhalation, every exchanged glance, every tear's quiet descent, we cradle the cosmos entire. This is the epiphany that dissolves trepidation. A gentle smile may curve your lips unbidden, isolation and insignificance evaporating like morning mist. For in this instant, you are the universe gazing upon its own splendor through the prism of human eyes. Rest well this night. Should slumber usher in reveries, bear in mind, some entity from adjacent strata might concurrently dream of you. We shall reconvene, in dreamscape or daylight, for in truth, the two converge as one.